Okay, party tricks. This is just, so we're doing this of how to draw a face looking up or down and or a baby. It's just, it's very useful for when you're doing life drawing or if you're painting a ceiling. It's just a useful trick to know. Everybody ready? Okay. Right. So, again, you will start with an egg. So I'm going to do looking up first. There's a wonderful artist, I think I've told you about, Tiepolo, Venetian mainly, and he was kind of at the 16th, 17th century, but he got all his money from painting ceilings. So he got really, really good at making, looking up people's noses, as it were. And they're just beautiful paintings. Anyway, meanwhile, okay, so have a person looking up. This is one of the hardest things to do, but it's all about the ears. So if I have an egg, I will start with an egg again. And I want this person to look up. And this is the face in proportion. So the proportions that I've just taught you don't apply so much. So, but I want them looking up, so I'm going to draw the eye line on. That is the eye line. This is my egg. And then when you're trying to draw someone that's looking up, you often have to think about where their nose is in relation to their eye line. So often you are looking up people's noses. And then the mouth will also follow their eye line. So it's a circular object in space. Well, not circular, but circularish. So the mouth will be like that. We'll have some eyebrows here, probably. And then this is the hardest thing to do. But the main thing about this is actually putting the ears on. So as soon as I put the ears on, well, I followed the eye line round, so the ears are there, can you see they're further down? That tells the viewer of your drawing that this is a face looking up. And then often have the forehead as foreshadowed. But the hardest thing to do is actually the chin. So again, it always looks weird because it's a face in foreshortening. Let me get my black pen out. Okay, so we got, so the eyes are sort of there and the eyebrows there. And when you're faced with something like this, you really have to look at where things are in relation to each other, because often when you're drawing faces, you kind of go back to almost the symbol system you developed when you were about 10 years old. So you really have to look. Come down here. I remember how to do it. So the ears are there. And then, as I say, this is, I'm just showing you this so you'll know in future, but this is the hardest thing often to depict, is the chin looking up, because it always looks downright peculiar. But can you see, it's the placing of the ears is the way you make the head seem like the head's looking up. I can't have lost my red pen already. Oh, there it is. Right, okay, looking down. A similar thing. So egg, egg, egg. How should I do it? Yeah, egg, egg, egg. My pen's running out. Egg, 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 egg. Let's try the other end. Egg, egg, egg. And a similar thing. So you're having the face looking down, and again you want to have that eye line. And you see, like that. And often all you can see is pretty much the nose at that point. But it's putting the eye line on that will help you understand what's happening. So to know what the center line is doing and know what the eye line is doing is a real help when you're drawing people. So I've got my egg egg here. So here's the eyes generally, and you can generally just see the eyebrows. And then the ears, putting the ears on, that is the big thing. And then often you can just see a nose, a bit of a mouth and cheekbones and things. And then if you have parted hair, can you see? So putting the ears on. Not that you probably have a huge amount of use for this in your daily life, but just to establish that having these sort of structures underneath when you're drawing a face is a real help, and I hope we will continue on to do that. Okay, so I'm going to do my party trick now. Let's draw a baby. And often people say, oh, I'd like to paint my grandchildren. But children are really difficult pinning their age down. So a 5-year-old looks different from a 10-year-old, looks different from a 15-year-old. And it's actually the proportions of the face that grow out. So when they start out as a baby, it's generally a circle. So if you think of a baby's head, it's pretty much a circle. And in fact, their eye line is further down. They've got to have all those brains, haven't they, for us clever monkeys, and we put the ears on. And as sort of children grow, the bones in the face grow, the brain stays more or less the same, and that's why childbirth is so painful. And then the eye line is a bit lower than centre. Sometimes, I think some people say 1/3 down. Now here's my party trick. So I've got my circly baby, and I'll put the ears on. And then can you see it? That's almost a cartoon. I do remember there was a when I was doing biology, there was a professor who was talking about cuteness. So this is cuteness. I think this is one reason why we respond to cats, because they have this almost this proportion in their little faces, don't they? Of these eyes, very big eyes and a small nose. And there's me baby. But it's all about proportions.